Good morning, Britain. The former GMTV presenter Fiona Phillips reveals she's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. The broadcaster and journalist is 62 years old. She's taking part in clinical trials for a revolutionary new drug more than a year after discovering she has the disease, which she says has ravaged her family.
It's absolutely decimated my mum, my dad, my Uncle Barry. It just goes on and on. It's just... they always used to say to me, it's not hereditary. There's something going on.
As the NHS celebrates its 75th anniversary, a new Good Morning Britain poll reveals that 62% of people believe patients should be charged for missing GP appointments. But should fines be part of the solution to protect the future of our health service? Do let us know what you think.
Schools out for children in England today. Thousands of teachers return to the picket line with 2 days of strike disruption affecting end-of-term events for students.
By day, he's the smiling assassin in our living rooms, but by night, he's a hugely successful comedian. Find out why The Chasers' Paul Sinner's new stand-up show is definitely not suitable for tea time viewing.
And she drank, she smoked, and she fell for the wrong kind of man. But over 25 years on, does Bridget Jones's Diary do a disservice to women and promote a dangerous stereotype? Debating that after 8.
Good morning to you. Weather-wise, we had torrential rain for some areas. Today is one of sunshine and showers, but the outlook is hotting up as we head into the weekend. I'll have all the details of that and more live from Hampton Court Palace here on Good Morning Britain.
Wednesday, 5th of July, 2023. Live from Television Centre in London. This is Good Morning Britain with Susanna, Reid and Ed Balls.
Good morning, Britain. It's just gone 6 o'clock, and we're all sending our huge best wishes this morning to Fiona Phillips because, of course, you know, well known to all of you as the former presenter of GMTV for more than a decade, I think, and just a hugely popular presenter and journalist. We all know and love her. She's also been an incredible advocate for families living with Alzheimer's. Her mother was diagnosed in her 50s, or the symptoms were certainly picked up in the 50s. Her father then in his 60s, and her uncle as well. And now Fiona herself has been diagnosed with, and it's called young onset Alzheimer's. She was diagnosed at the age of 61. You, of course, have enormous experience in this area,
I
Ed.
do. Well, she is, has been such an iconic broadcaster for so long, such a connection with people. I remember when Gordon Brown first became Prime Minister back in 2007, he really wanted to persuade Fiona to give up television and come into government. He thought she would be a brilliant public health minister, somebody who could communicate to people about things which would really make a difference to their lives, as she did on the television. And I think she decided that broadcasting was her priority. So, you know, fair enough to her for deciding that. She would have been brilliant. But you know, as I, kind of know very well, if you have a parent who has Alzheimer's or dementia, and my mum's had dementia for almost 20 years now, it's always in your mind, you know. Is it going to be hereditary? Could it be me at some point? And I would guess Fiona has been thinking about this for a long time. Yeah. And now it's a reality that she's dealing with and doing so very bravely. She's involved, as we'll be discussing, in a big trial to try and test out drugs which might make a difference. And she wants to pioneer, she wants to talk about it, she wants to help other people deal with this. But she'll be doing all of that, helping other people, as she's always done, while also having to deal with it herself, which is so tough.
Yeah, she says that it's decimated her family. Her mother, father and uncle also had the disease. But she has decided to share her story to help others. Here's Olivia Guthrie.
So do you want a cup of tea or something, yeah? Fiona Phillips says Alzheimer's ravaged her family. She always feared getting the disease in her 80s, but she wasn't prepared to receive the news at just 61.
My mum, my dad, my Uncle Barry, it just goes on and on. It's just... And they always used to say to me, it's not hereditary. Well,
the TV presenter became a household name in the 90s as a host of GMTV. She says she was diagnosed last year after suffering from brain fog and anxiety, which she'd initially put down to the menopause. Her diagnosis was a shock that her husband, This Morning editor Martin Frizzell, says made him feel sick. The couple's 2 sons were tested for the Alzheimer's gene, and luckily they don't have it. But Fiona knows from her own experience what they do now face.
And I remember walking into the home and hearing this awful, awful scream, and I just thought, oh my gosh, who's that? And it was actually my mum. Oof. And
it's estimated more than 1 million people will be living with dementia in the UK in the next 2 years. Fiona's taking part in a trial for a new drug to treat Alzheimer's in the hopes of finding a cure that helps others in the future. Olivia Guthrie, Good Morning Britain.
It's our main news this morning, and we're going to talk about Fiona's Alzheimer's diagnosis with Dr. Hillary, of course, in the next few minutes. And we'll be asking about this drug that she is trialling, which could offer some hope. The trouble with drug trials, of course, is that half the group is on the trial.
That's right.
And half the group in the trial is on the placebo.
So Fiona doesn't know whether the drug she's getting is a drug at all, or whether she's just part of the people who aren't going to get any drug. But it's all about, can you slow down the development of the Alzheimer's or the dementia to try and give you more time? I don't think yet anybody thinks that we know how to stop it, let alone to prevent it. But it's the way, look, 75th year anniversary of the NHS. The way medicine works is you try things and people put themselves forward, as Fiona's doing. It's very brave.
Yes.
And that is how progress occurs. And let's hope, you know, that she's part of making progress.
She's been such a powerful campaigner on this subject. We have got the Shadow Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, here this morning. We've also got Maria Caulfield, who is a Public Health Minister. And we will ask them about care for Alzheimer's. So if your family is affected, tell us about that experience and what you think the government should be doing to help care for those with Alzheimer's and for their families as well. First, though, here's Charlotte with the rest of the day's news.
Thanks very much, Susanna.